Okay, good evening, everyone, and welcome to another meeting of BKC Fireflies, meeting number 139. It's a great evening, and thank you all for coming here. I'm stuck in traffic, and there are certain security measures that we are following, but let's see what we are supposed to do in this meeting. First of all, the meeting is being recorded, so in case there are any apprehensions, do let us know. As we all say, we follow certain do's and don'ts in this meeting, and those are: anybody who's speaking, please unmute yourself and speak, and try to have your video on. Whoever are not speaking, try to have yourself muted so that the speaker is not disturbed. Okay, and it's a request to everyone: try to have your videos on so we can feel the energy of the audience. We refrain from talking about sex, religion, and politics to avoid any issues or conflicts in the meeting. And now, before I hand over to our presiding officer, let me read you the mission of a club. The mission of a club is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Moving on with this, let me hand over the meeting to a presiding officer, and let the fun begin. Over to you, presiding officer.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Saurabh, and kudos to you for handling this role as a Sergeant at Arms tonight, in spite of you traveling. So when we texted each other, he said, yes, I'm going to be checking in around that time, but I can be the SA and then I will leave the meeting. So thank you very much, Toastmaster Saurabh, for doing this, and welcome one and all to meeting number 139 of BKC Fireflies. It's a pleasure to be the presiding officer of this meeting. We have a number of guests from Toastmaster clubs around Mumbai who are volunteered to take up different roles at today's meeting, and I'm very glad and happy to have them here. I will be speaking to them in a bit, but before that, I want to talk about something that bothered me a little, but also inspired me. And I thought, yes, as a presiding officer today, I should be talking about this. The Sunday that just went by, we celebrated an important person in our lives, our mothers. Mother's Day was celebrated. And I am not a person who takes these things seriously, and I'm in a way I'm actually indifferent about them, be it Mother's Day, Father's Day, or whatever day it is. I don't have a problem with people celebrating them. I don't have a problem with those who don't celebrate them. But I do have a problem with people who glorify certain things. So on Mother's Day, of course, I think it's important to recognize all the hard work that our mothers put in. And now I myself, being a mother, I have actually come to realize how much work a mother actually puts in. So while that is there in its place, what I also found, especially this year during Mother's Day, were a number of social media posts that were not just glorifying mothers, but unfortunately were putting down other people. So for example, a LinkedIn post. Now, LinkedIn has these days not remained just a professional website, but a lot of people also talk about other things that bother them. And I came across one such post on LinkedIn that said that, yeah, it's Mother's Day, and, you know, mothers make so many sacrifices. A woman makes so many sacrifices, but does not get any help from the opposite gender. She has to work. She wakes up early in the morning. She does all the household chores, takes care of the kids, then goes to her own work, comes back home, again does the household chores, and then goes back to sleep. And that's her routine throughout the day. My problem with this is, I think if women feel that this is not the life that they want, they need to speak up rather than putting down the other gender and saying that a man does not do anything and it's the woman who has to bear the entire burden of the household. So instead of putting that post up on LinkedIn and saying that, men, you don't do anything for us, and, we have to bear the entire burden. And sometimes people also tend to glorify this. They say, oh, women are superheroes, mothers are superheroes, they do everything. There are 10 hands of a mother, and she is the goddess. But instead of glorifying that, take a stand for yourself. Say that this is what I can do. Beyond this, I cannot do. I need time for myself. I need time to attend Toastmasters meetings. I need time to meet friends. I need time to socialize. I need time for myself. I need time to read a book. So these are the things that the other family members should take responsibility for. If they refuse to, think of something else. Maybe walk out, right? Instead of putting down other people and saying that, you didn't do this and the entire burden is on me. So, as women of today, let's think of those. And this does not, I think, stop at just women. This is not applicable only to women or only to mothers. I think this is applicable to everyone, every human being, every person. If you feel that you are under pressure, if you feel that you are mistreated, speak up and say that, I'm not going to do this. Learn to say no. And you don't need to multitask all the time. You don't need to glorify multitasking. You don't need to glorify those extra hours. You don't need to glorify lack of sleep. Live a stressful life and don't blame others for your life. Take responsibility for yourself, whether you're a woman or a man, or you know whatever role you are in. So think about it and see how you can do this. So that's my two bits, because of all those posts I came across on Mother's Day. And like I said, a number of people here I see who've come out of, who are not part of BKC Fireflies. All of them are playing roles here. So let me start with, we have a distinguished Toastmaster here in the meeting group, and that's Toastmaster Ranjini. So let me start with her. Good evening, distinguished Toastmaster Ranjini. Welcome to BKC Fireflies.
Thank you so much.
And thank you very much for taking up, not just taking up this role, but for also getting your club members, encouraging them to take up roles at our meeting. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling great and awesome that, one thing I would take away is how the meeting room was open well before time. I think punctuality is one thing I will take away from this meeting. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. We also hope we end on time. So in order to do that, I'm going to quickly go to the next, to the other guests we have. We have Toastmaster Vaishali, who is playing the timer's role for the very first time, and I online timer's role for the very first time. And when I spoke to her, she said, "Yeah, I also want to learn how to be the timer in an online meeting." And I really admire that about you, Toastmaster Vaishali. Please tell us how you are feeling. Are you nervous because you're playing the timer's role for the first time online? You are on mute, Vaishali.
Hello everyone, this is Vaishali here. I definitely have butterflies in my stomach as of now. I joined exactly at 6:25 just to figure out how am I going to go about, and Sai Ramachandran has really guided me, and you also just caught hold of me in the nick of time, and I could upload those three important cards. And my role is of a timer here today, and I'm feeling really elated to be a part of this group. And I really want to tell you all that time plays a very important and a very vital role in our day-to-day life. Once we pass that time, we cannot relive that moment again. So that every second is very precious. So I'm going to, should I tell the rules now or later?
No, later.
Okay.
You
So,
call again.
thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vaishali. We also have Toastmaster Yavna, who is also from Goregaon Speakers. Welcome,
Hi all.
guys.
Hi. Thank you, Toastmaster Sandhya. So happy to be here. I would say we have a mother from Goregaon speakers community, DTM Ranjini. So who always a mother would always want the kids to be with her, but this mother always pushes us beyond boundaries, go out of the club, pursue roles outside, and then explore. It is not just always being inside the family. So in that way, thanks to Ranjini for pushing us beyond borders. So that makes us here.
Great. It's wonderful to have a mother-like figure at a Toastmasters club, not just in the family. So that's great to know. We are having a couple of people who've just joined. So I'm going to quickly say hi to them. I see Toastmaster Mudit here. Hi, Mudit. Welcome to BKC Fireflies. What made you join this meeting today?
Yeah, hello. I wanted to see my other colleagues doing the role. I think Yavana, Ranjani, and Vaishali are here, so just wanted to see what's going on in the meeting.
Okay, you've come to cheer for them. That's great,
Yeah.
Mudit. Welcome to the meeting. We also have Sunil Agarwal. Hello, Sunil.
Hello.
Please tell us about yourself, Sunil. Are you a Toastmaster? We can't hear you, Sunil.
Yeah, I'm a very recent person, so just joined those this year.
Okay, I couldn't hear you very clearly, but out of what I could catch, I heard that you're a very recent Toastmaster. So you're here probably to check out how
Just
the
15
meeting
years.
goes.
Just 15 years.
Just 15 years. Okay, I didn't hear that. Yeah, that's just 15 years new in Toastmasters. So welcome Toastmaster Sunil. Happy to have you here. We also have Toastmaster Aditya, who's been here n number of times to BKC Fireflies. Aditya, so I'm not going to ask you why you're here, how you're here. I'm just going to wish you all the best for the month end, and we will speak to you again at the end of the meeting. And with that, I'm going to hand over the meeting to the man of the meeting, the Toastmaster of the day. All of us, have to bargain at some point in our lives, right? Be it with the sabji wala, be it with our boss when it comes to salaries, or be it with your VP of E for a role in your club meeting. How do we do this? How do we bargain? So some light on that is going to be thrown by the president of this club, uh, who is, I'm sure, known to many of you here. Yes. In case you don't know, yes, he's made sure that you all know that he's the president of the club. So he has that background there. By profession, he is a software engineer, also now trying to shift gears to other careers. He might want to speak about that himself later. So over to you, Toastmaster Sai, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, Presiding Officer. Appreciate everyone showing up on time to meeting number 139 of BKC Fireflies. When I first heard Sunil say that he is a new Toastmaster, I was like, this cannot be the same Sunil that I was expecting to see. And then the jokes came, and I was like, yes, this is the Sunil I was expecting to see. So welcome, Sunil. And not that everybody else is not welcome. Everybody's welcome. But Sunil is always interesting to have in a meeting because he keeps us on our toes as presenters and role players, because he knows Toastmasters in and out, though he pretends to be a new Toastmaster. The meeting started in a very introspective and thoughtful way when our presiding officer was talking about our responsibility to ourselves, to speak up for ourselves in case we feel that something is not right with us, doesn't sit right with us. We have to speak up for ourselves. And one of the insights of tonight's meeting is going to be how relevant and important it is to understand that there is a need for speaking up and conflict and negotiations in every aspect of our lives. When we hear the word negotiation, it sounds like one of those big fancy words which involves business deals of millions and millions of dollars and thousands of crores of rupees, companies buying and selling things. systems being created, big things happening. But in reality, negotiations are an everyday thing. We just don't call them negotiations. We sometimes call them compromise. Sometimes you call them give and take. Sometimes we call them, we negotiate over a handshake. We negotiate, we sometimes give in, sometimes we put our foot down. All those things are examples of negotiations in progress. And what I want to share with you today is a specific style and an insight into negotiations, which I read about in a book, and I learned from it, called Never Split the Difference. Let me ask you this. Say I ask you, say you have guests at home, and they say, and you ask them, do you want coffee or do you want chai? And they say, doesn't matter. What would the normal reaction in that case be for you? So let's start with specific people. So Vaishali, I'm going to ask you, since I can see you on screen, let me ask you this. If you have guests at home and they say, doesn't matter, it doesn't matter if it's coffee or tea, what would you offer them finally?
I would first offer them a glass of water, which is the most essential liquid I think anyone would like to prefer first.
Right.
Then I would like to go with their preference. If they put it on me, I would give them coffee, which is very quick to make.
Understood. So the answer, Vaishali's answer is coffee. Nidhi, let me ask you the same question. You have guests at home and they say, doesn't matter, give me something. What would you do?
I would be confused at first, but then I will, same like Vaishali, I will prepare a coffee because I don't know to make a good tea.
At least you're honest about why you prepare coffee and not tea. Thank you so much. Kashif, what about you? Guests, what do you do? What would you do?
I think I'll give them coffee because I'll give them tea because that's what I usually prepare.
Understood.
I like.
Aditya, you want to say something? Let me put you on spotlight as well.
Yes. I think I'll probably do what a waiter would do when the guest at a restaurant is confused. I'll probably take the ball in my court and say, well, I can see, and of course, not explicitly stating, I can see that you're confused, but why don't you taste my favorite ginger tea? I make some really good ginger tea.
So you would take it as an opportunity to educate them on the best way to make a certain tea or a coffee. Same like Nidhi is saying that, she makes good coffee, she doesn't trust her tea, she trusts her coffee, and she's willing to go with that. Understood. But the answer that you gave is a reference back to this theme of the meeting. What none of you said is that I will give them a combination of tea and coffee, right? You didn't split the difference. You didn't say, I'm going to make some coffee, make some tea, mix it and give it to that person. Simply because that is not how we work in the real world. I hope this question makes, Aditya, your hand is still up. Do you need to say something? All right, he's saying no. So the key insight here is that we've all learned, na tera na mera, neither mine nor yours. We'll meet somewhere in the middle, and that'll be the end of it. And what I want to share with you is that actually leads to worse outcomes for everybody. If your guests had said, I don't care if it's coffee or tea, and you ended up giving them something called, let's call it toffee, which is a combination of tea and coffee, they would not have been happy. And you would not have been able to put your best show forward. You'd not have been able to do what Aditya wanted to do, was to say, I make great ginger tea, try my ginger tea. You would have given them something which is a combination of the two, which is somewhere in the middle. It's not neither here nor there. And this is the key insight that I want to leave you guys with. If you take nothing else away from my time as the Toastmaster of the day, please take this away, that a lot of times accepting that there are choices to be made and going with those choices is the right approach when it comes to negotiations. Because you are negotiating with your guests, you are offering them something, they're saying that they don't care, there's a dance between the two of you, and you have to come to a happy conclusion for both of you. When you say that I'll give you the ginger tea that I like and the ginger tea I make, you're keeping yourself happy and hoping that you make the other person happy as well. When you offer them coffee that you're confident about, but not so confident about the tea, and you say, I'm going to give you the coffee, you're hoping that you become happy and they become happy. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the full gist of tonight's meeting. Never split the difference. Do not go for the half answer simply because that's the least effortful, the one with the least resistance. Because if you say, neither mine nor yours will meet in the middle, clearly you don't have any more fights because you've done your best to appear fair. And the word fair is going to come up later in the conversation tonight. But if your network drops right now and you don't feel like joining back this meeting, you've learned what I wanted to share with you, that negotiations are not always about meeting someone. Negotiations are always, and that's the key in negotiations are always about making or finding happiness, finding value for both parties, because the values that they hold dear to themselves, what they find valuable to themselves, might not be the same thing, and that is fine as well. Okay, so that's the key insight. And if your network drops, if you don't feel like joining us, totally cool, because the rest of the meeting is going to be a little bit of a deep dive in this concept. Okay, now the rest of the meeting, I just referenced it, so let me elaborate a little bit on the rest of the meeting. Hey, thanks, Saurabh. Thank you for coming in at the last minute and being the star. The rest of the meeting is going to unfold something like this. We have 3 segments to the meeting. There is the prepared speeches segment, which is going to start now, followed by table topics, followed in the end by evaluation section. And the irrespective people who are headlining those sections will explain what those sections do and how you're supposed to behave and what you can expect from them. But throughout the meeting, we also have a bunch of people whose job it is to help us stay on track in terms of how we utilize our time, in terms of how we use the language, all sorts of things. So I'm going to start by bringing those people on stage to explain to us what they do in their role. Let me start with the timer. Vaishali, are you there? Yeah, I see you.
Yeah, yeah.
Where is Vaishali?
Yeah, I'm
Wait. You jumped because your audio turned on. Vaishali, please tell us a bit about your role.
Hello, everyone. This is Vaishali here. Time is the most valuable resource because it's finite and irreversible. It's a currency of life, which we all have to take care of. And once the time passes, we cannot retrieve the time back again. So being in time is what is very essential. So my role over here is to keep a track of the time. For the prepared speeches, I will be displaying the green color card at 5 minutes and yellow card at 6 minutes and the red card at 7 minutes. For table topics, the time allotted is 1 to 2 minutes. At 1 minute, I'll be flashing the green card. At 1.30 seconds, the yellow, and at 2 minutes, the red card. For speech evaluations, the time limit is 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I'll display the green card. At 2.30 seconds, yellow card, and at 3 minutes, red card. There is a grace period of 30 seconds after the red card is flashed each time to wrap up the speech. I hope all the speakers to be within the allotted time limit. I will be back with my report towards the end of the meeting.
Unmute myself. Thank you so much, Vaishali.
Thank you.
Thank you for doing your job as the first time online. Sandhya, if you could take a look at our meeting group for a little bit of assistance that I need on one of the role players, that'll be wonderful. If you cannot find the role player, let's see if we can find somebody else. While Sandhya is off doing her job as the VP of Education of the BKC Fireflies on the back, let me quickly highlight Pradnya, who's going to tell us a bit about her role as the R counter.
So good evening, everyone. So this is my second meeting in Toastmaster, and I've taken this role of R counter. So in my role, the purpose of R counter is to note words and sounds that are used as crutch or pause filler, or anyone who speaks. So during the meeting, I will listen to overused words, including and, well, but, so, and you know. I will also listen for filler sounds, including and, I will also note when a speaker repeats a word or phrase, such as I, or this means, or that. And at the end of the meeting, I will report the number of times that each speaker use this expression. So thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster, for giving me this opportunity. And thanks to Sandhya also, who encouraged me to take this opportunity.
Yes, Sandhya can be very persuasive in a very soft and gentle way. She's very good at that. So I don't blame you for saying, yeah, sure. She says one thing and you're like, at the end of it, you're taking up roles and doing things for the first time. Congratulations on taking up this responsibility, Pradnya. And once again, welcome to BKC Fireflies. I'm killing a little bit of time because there is one role that we still are a little bit unsure about, and that role is of the grammarian. And while Sandhya is off trying to locate the grammarian, let me maybe add a little bit of color on the theme of the meeting. A few of us have joined late. So for the people who joined late, let me recap a little bit about what we discussed. My first question to the group was, what in your mind would you do if you had a guest who comes to your house and says, it doesn't matter to me if you give me tea or coffee, just give me something. And my question to you was, what would you do? And across the board, the answer was, I will give them something that I'm comfortable doing. I'm comfortable making coffee. I like making ginger tea. I like tea in general. And many people said coffee. And that's what I will give to my guest because they have not expressed a preference. So I'm going to give them something. And that happens to be the thing I'm good at. Now, my contention to you is that this is actually the optimal and the correct way to handle the situation, even though all our lives we've learned this trick. Like if you're in that dance between you and the opposing party where you both want something but you're not able to come to a conclusion, you say, let's just meet in the middle. Let's split the difference between the two of us. We'll come to something in the middle and then we'll both be happy. And in this case, that would have meant that we will have to give them a combination of tea and coffee, which I wanted to say, or I want to call toffee. But that's not the right answer because nobody wants to drink toffee. They either want to drink tea or coffee. And if you're good at making tea and you offer somebody a combination of tea and coffee, they're going to hate it. So that's the essential point of this meeting, that do not assume that meeting somebody in the middle or splitting the difference between two opposing positions is the optimal outcome for any negotiation. And negotiations are happening all around you every day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, except on leap years when 366 a day, you take a break from doing all these things. But in truth, negotiations are happening all the time. And that's the thrust of this meeting. Let me take a quick pause to see if Sandhya is back. Sandhya, are you back? And is the grammarian with us? All right. So I'm going to take a Toastmasters call on this. And I'm going to announce that the word of the day for us is negotiation, which is pretty much in keeping with the theme. Do I need to explain what the word negotiation means to anyone? Negotiations are oh man, I didn't realize how difficult negotiations can be to explain. But negotiations are a way to come to a mutually acceptable solution. That is a negotiation. And that is the word of the day. I have other responsibilities as the grammarian as well as the stand-in grammarian as well, which is to point out any errors in the usage of the English language. But we will...
I can take it over, fine. I can be the grammarian if that is fine. Let the word of the day remain. All right, I'll just get a paper and a pen and you can start. All right.
That is the Toastmasters way. Yeah, go for it. Absolutely okay.
All right. Okay, thank you. Great.
That's the way we do it. We support each other and we jump in when the chips are down. Thank you so much, Kalpana. Always a pleasure to have you in our meetings. All right. So, yes. Sunil, your network is pretty much... I'm not able to follow.
Can I give you the for negotiation?
You wanted to give me a definition for negotiation.
No, usage.
Usage. Please do. Yeah, please go ahead and give me the usage.
So like I and my wife are always at loggerheads. So we negotiated. We'll go twice a week out. If she goes Tuesdays, I go Saturdays. That's the negotiation.
But where do you go? I'm sorry. You go to a therapist twice a week. She goes Tuesdays. You go Saturdays. Is that what you said?
No. I go out partying twice. She goes Tuesdays, I go Saturdays.
If after 15 years of Toastmasters, you guys have worked out the schedule which works for you, absolutely. I think that's a negotiated settlement which makes both parties happy. They don't have to see each other on the dance floor. I can't imagine Sunil dancing, but I'm sure it's going to be fun for the people who are in the clubhouse with Sunil when he's dancing. Thank you, Sunil. That's a great usage. Negotiations are something like that. You come to a conclusion that works for both parties. So now that we've done the due diligence on introducing the role players and all those things, let's get to the fun part of the meeting, which is prepared speeches. We have a few speakers who have spent a little bit of time ahead of time to prepare speeches for tonight's meeting. And the first person in that role is Toastmaster Kashif Kidwai. Let me add him to the spotlight. And after that, let me also add Yavana to the spotlight, because it is Yavana's job to help us evaluate Toastmaster Kashif Kidwai's speech.
Okay, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Toastmaster Kashif, is pursuing his pathway of presentation mastery. So he is currently at level 1 project 5, and this project is to practice applying feedback and serve as a speech evaluator during a club meeting. And this project involves 3 important elements. The first element is giving a prepared speech and receiving feedback. The second part is applying that feedback and repeating the speech back. Then the third part of this project is serving as an evaluator in a club meeting. So currently in this project, he is going to attempt his first speech where he would be giving a speech and receiving feedback. All the very best to my target speaker, Toastmaster Kashif. Back to the Toastmaster of the day. Sai.
Yeah, really quick, how long is the speech?
Yes, this is a 5 to 7 minutes speech. So yes, the timing guidelines is as usual. It's 5 to 7 minutes speech.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
5 minutes is green, 6 is yellow, and 7 is red. Yeah.
Thank you, Yavana. Vaishali, are you all set with your work as the timer?
Yeah.
Do you have
I'll change my background with green, yellow, and red.
Can you please, if possible, set your background to...
Sure.
Do you have a white background right now?
Okay, one second.
Yeah, it has turned green now.
Can I keep it green because it's the initial 5 minutes?
It's ideal. It would have been better if it went from... So, okay, fine. We'll do one thing. Do you have a piece of paper to cover your camera? Perfect. So switch back to your blur screen if possible.
All right.
And when it's green, when it's time to go green, please change it. And for the duration of the speech, keep your piece of paper in front of the camera.
Okay.
Okay, fine. When it turns green, make sure you put your piece of paper in front of the camera.
This fine?
Yeah, that's fine. Kashif, are you okay with green being on throughout?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
Okay.
Speaker 1, Kashif Kidwai. Benefits of journaling. Benefits of journaling. Speaker 1, Kashif Kidwai.
So today I'm going to share with you a habit which, if done well and done consistently, it can have a wonderful impact on your life. I'm talking about journaling, and it's a practice that has been used by folks from all walks of life, from different fields, to their benefit. Let me give you a few examples. Artists such as Leonardo da Vinci and scientists such as Einstein, Charles Darwin, and Marie Curie used journaling to generate new ideas. Sportsmen such as Serena Williams, Kobe Bryant, Michael Phelps, Usain Bolt use journaling to stay focused on their goals and to prepare for competition. Entrepreneurs such as Richard Branson, Oprah Winfrey, Mark Zuckerberg use journaling to improve their productivity and for goal setting. Not only these extraordinary people, but even ordinary people have used journaling to become well known. For example, Anne Frank is someone who we would never have known if it was not for their journals. Now, different people from different fields, they derive different benefits as per their goals. But there are some benefits of journaling which are common and which apply to everyone. So today I'm going to share with you 3 such benefits of journaling. The first benefit of journaling is that it leads to enhancement in creativity. Research has shown that journaling improves our cognitive abilities. There are many famous writers who are testimony to this. Mark Twain famously kept a journal, and he recorded his daily experiences, his daily ideas, and observations in his journal, and then used that journal as a source of inspiration for his writing. Other writers such as Ralph Waldo Emerson, Henry David Thoreau also use their journal as a way to explore their ideas in a safe place, to bring clarity to their ideas before they can share them and disseminate them more generally. Now, it works not only for the writers, but for non-writers as well. And what I have seen is that if an idea is not fully formed in your head, while you can argue about that idea with your friends quite convincingly, but when it comes to putting that thought on paper, you will realize that there is something that idea lacks. The idea lacks clarity. And when we put it down, when we put it down on paper, we realize we are forced to think about it more deeply. And that brings clarity to that idea and enhances our creativity. Personally, what I've also found is that journal is a safe place where we can write whatever we want, where we can draw whatever we want, where we can do anything without the fear of being judged. I have been journaling for the past 3 years, and around a year back, I noticed that my journal entries have started turning into poetry very frequently. And I had no interest in poetry, and I had never read poetry save for my early childhood. So the first one is creativity. The second benefit of journaling is that it leads to better mental well-being. Many artists use journaling as a way to cope with the stress and improve their mental well-being. There are multiple studies which have found journaling has a positive correlation with our mental well-being. Personally, what I have also seen is that when I was not journaling, I could ignore the negative thoughts, negative emotions, and any other negative feelings which I had. But when I started journaling, I started writing those down. And when we write down our negative thoughts and negative emotions on paper, we are forced to confront them and to deal with them. And it is only when we start confronting our issues and dealing with those issues can we ever hope to resolve them. So in that way, my journal is also like my personal therapist. And just like a good personal therapist, it has helped me tremendously to improve my mental well-being and reduce stress from my life. The third important benefit of journaling, and no points for guessing, is that it leads to better memory function. When we start writing down our observations, our life experiences, then the major events, we are able to recall the major events of our life more vividly with more clarity. And I have found it so cool that I can pick up any date over the last 3-4 years since I've been journaling, and I would know exactly what I was doing on that day. Not only that, but I would also know what I was feeling. What are the things that were worrying me on that day? And that also connects to my previous point of reduced stress, because when we look at our worries 3 years ago, in most of the cases, those would have become irrelevant now. And so it also gives us perspective and tells us the uselessness of worrying too much or taking too much stress. In conclusion, what I would say is that when we start journaling, we start writing down the story of our life on paper. And story, I don't need to tell the Toastmasters how powerful a story can be. Story is the most powerful tool which is available to us as human beings. And when we start writing down our story on paper, we also start taking steps to make sure that we are writing a good story. In that sense, when we start journaling, I have seen, it is my experience, that we start taking back control of our life very effectively. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Before I let you go, Kashif, I wanted to ask you, do you literally journal every single day? Like you set aside time at night or in the morning, whenever, to make a note about the previous day?
Well, I used to journal, let's say 4 days, 3 days, 4 days a week. But right now I am also reading a book which is called The Artist's Way. And there's a concept in the book which is called the morning pages. And it asks you to write morning pages religiously every day in the morning. Set aside 15 to 20 minutes and write down those morning pages. And you have to write down 3 pages. So I have just started that. And maybe 1.5 pages is what I write currently. But yes, I'm improving.
I appreciate that. I mean, that's pretty courageous to have to do that on a religious basis. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Our second speaker for tonight is this lady. And her evaluator happens to be a man who is going to be on the big stage very soon. So let me add him to the spotlight. Aditya, how do you plan to evaluate Niyamat?
Toastmaster Niyamat is delivering her speech from level 3 Project 1 from Innovative Planning. The purpose of the project is for the member to be aware of thoughts and feelings and impact on the audience. The speaker is also supposed to share experiences completing the project. I wish Toastmaster Niyamat all the best. Over to you.
Same question. What's the speech duration?
The speech duration is 2 to 3 minutes as well as 5 to 7 minutes. Toastmaster Niyamat has to confirm which one.
I'll do 5 to 7 minutes.
5 to 7 minutes.
Timer 5 to
Please
7.
note, timer.
Thanks so much, Aditya. Speaker 2, Niyamat Chimtanawala. The firsts. Speaker 2, Niyamat Chimtanawala.
Can I just confirm the timer?
Oh, yes. Vaishali, please switch to green, please. And she will stay at green until you hit the 6th minute. Please mind that there'll not be a change at 5 because she's going to be green throughout until 6 minutes.
She'll be green throughout until 6 minutes. Got it.
Then you'll be yellow and green as usual. Over to you, Toastmaster Niyamat.
The first. As soon as I utter this word, don't you get a rush, an exhilaration? Well, if you don't, unlucky for you, but I do. I'm talking about the firsts in our life. There are so many firsts that we encounter naturally because until you haven't had the first, you won't appreciate the second, would you? I'm talking about something that occurred just a couple of days ago in this crazy city of Mumbai. We had our first rains. Now, for all those who do not live here, have not been able to experience it firsthand, but I'm sure that social media and the news have completely enamored you all with everything that goes on in the city. Why are the first rains in Mumbai important to talk about, or rather important to write about? For the simple reason that Mumbai and rains, would I say that they go too well together, a little bit too well together? Simply because Mumbai has had an interesting history with rains. When we have rains in Mumbai, they don't seem to stop. Mumbai lies on the coast, and that makes it very humid for us. And when it rains buckets and rains gallons. And when it rains, things just seem to kind of blossom out over here. Although I'm fairly new to the city, I don't call myself that new anyway. It's amazing to appreciate how things just kind of take a 360-degree shift once it starts raining here. Until yesterday, it was hot, it was humid, people were crazy, they were irritable, they were sweating, and they weren't working to full capacity. And suddenly, I remember it so clearly. It's like 3:30 in the afternoon, I'm sitting in an AC room and I'm working, and I get a call from home, and my home is back in the north side of Mumbai, and I get this frantic call asking me to just come home. And I'm like, what's the matter? And it's my sister on the other end, and she's like, it's pouring cats and dogs, and there's a hailstorm here, and Bombay is having a hailstorm. And I'm listening to her. I turn around, I open the window, and it's quiet. There's nothing there. And I'm in Matunga, which is like the central part of Mumbai. And I wonder that can this really be true? But then that's the beauty of Mumbai. And within the next half an hour, we lose electricity in the entire campus. All our instruments halfway shut down. We cannot work. Laptops, mobile phones, everything require electricity, right? So they eventually will run out of battery. The only sensible option is that you shut your labs and you go home. As much as I would have liked to stay at college and work, I completely was grasping at this opportunity and wanting to just rush home, because within half an hour, as soon as we got out of the lab, because our corridors are open and there is greenery on both sides, it was actually a carpet full of flowers. Now, what do you call that? Isn't that focusing on the positive? Yes. Sadly, once we walked out of there and we reached to our respective homes, and that was 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours late, because the locals were running slow and there was chaos at Ghatkopar and people were injured. And yes, there was a chaotic, confusing situation. But
I call myself an inherent optimist. As soon as the rains commence, whether it be in Bombay, in Nagpur, any part of the world, I get this bubbling sensation that something good is about to start, something good is about to begin. And that is so true. A small side note, there's something called as a seasonal affective disorder, which maybe many of you all know, many of you all haven't heard of. It's actually a disorder. And people, especially in the cooler climates, people in the UK, in Ireland, suffer from it quite heavily because we come from a temperate climate. So we are quite used to the warmth over here, not only in our hearts, but also in the climate around us. Sadly, in the cooler climates, they don't have the sun rays as often. And that leads to the temperatures dropping really low. And that makes them quite moody, if one were to say, simply because the seasons affect them. And that actually causes a disorder. They fall more prone to depression as compared to us. Similarly, when we have the summers, you will notice that there is a vibrancy in the air. We are very agitated. We are much more reactive. We aren't very stable. And as soon as the climate shifts, as soon as we go towards the winters, it cools down. We go inwards. We quieten. Why am I giving you all a lesson on climate? Simply because when I woke up today and I realized that even if it was very hot outside, by the time I was getting back home in the evening, it was so beautifully pleasant. If in one day, in 24 hours, such a shift can bring about a shift in your moods and your perceptions, imagine that if we can actually imbibe this shift or this idea that change is inevitable, if we bring this change in our day-to-day lives, in our thoughts and feelings and emotions, do you think that we can live a more fruitful life? Why I talked about the first. The first are always going to be special, whether it's your first boyfriend, your first kiss, the first rains of Bombay, or your first heartbreak, or the first time that you actually see that your family is not as rosy as a picture as they paint it. There are positives and negatives to each and every aspect of life. But that teaches us something, doesn't it? It teaches us that no matter what life throws at you, it is the attitude that actually makes a difference. I call myself an inherent optimist because I feel that living happily, living optimistically is an active choice. Many people would ask me, why do I go on laughing? Why do I go on just being the way I am? And no, it doesn't mean that I don't have hard days. It doesn't mean that I don't feel like just crying into the night. I feel like we only have this one life. Why not live it optimistically? Why not choose to see the rosier and the brighter side of things? Yes, life happens and it sucks some days. But then it is also this one life that we have. So why not make the first of it? The first will always be special. The first are there to teach us something. The first are there to remind us that yes, of course, the first will be extremely acute, but in the long term, in the chronic period, the seconds and the thirds will teach us much more. And I think that's also what life teaches us, right? So enjoy the first.
Niyama, you've been muted for some time, for some reason.
Hello?
You're good now.
Sorry, I'm gonna phone call in the middle. But yeah, no matter what phone calls come, I am going to focus on the positive. And thank you for hearing me out. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Handled with grace. And if somebody could write or speak the way you spoke about Mumbai, about me, hopefully my wife, I'd be the happiest person on earth. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts about your deep love for everything Mumbai. Our third speaker for the evening is Toastmaster Nidhi Jajda. Her evaluator is our presiding officer, Sandhya Krishnan. Sandhya, could you please tell us a bit about how you plan to evaluate Nidhi?
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Our third speaker tonight, Toastmaster Nidhi, is attempting her level 3 project 1 speech. The purpose of this project is for her to practice delivering a social speech in front of her club members. This project has two parts, and she's attempting the first part of the project. So what we can expect from her is to listen to a toast or an acceptance speech or a speech which honors an individual or an organization. So in general, a social speech. Timer, please note that the time limit for this speech is not 5 to 7 minutes, but it is 3 to 4 minutes. So the green light will be shown at 3 minutes, the yellow at 3.5, and the red at 4.5 minutes. The speaker will be disqualified if she speaks for more than 4 minutes, 30 seconds. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Vaishali, are you all set? 3, 3.5, and 4?
I'm not able to see the timer.
Yeah, can you see the green screen now, Nidhi? You might have to, I might have scrolled the strip on top. Vaishali's moved to the end. There's a strip along the top which has all my face and Sandhya's and everybody's faces.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that you should see her in green. All right.
The green screen is visible. I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Speaker 3, Nidhi Jajda. Screen free, scene full. Screen free, scene full. Speaker 3, Nidhi Jajda.
Good evening, TMOD, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Today, I'm going to talk about someone who has recently embarked on a journey of detoxing from this noise and the distraction of social media. It's been nothing short of a transformative, and that someone is nobody other than your favorite Toastmaster, Toastmaster Nidhi. Just a few days ago, I made the decision to bid farewell to endless scrolling, the constant notification, and the pressure to curate the perfect online persona. And you know what? I haven't looked back since. 2 days into this newfound freedom, I received a call from my friend, Nidhi, are you okay? I was shocked and I said, yeah, what happened? He explained that he has sent me some message on WhatsApp. Upon seeing a single tick for 1 day, he grew out of concern and he wanted to check whether I was fine or not. But to his relief and for the mind, I assured him that, yeah, I'm perfectly all right and even doing much better. This incident got me thinking, yes, technology has undoubtedly become very crucial part of our life. It has revolutionized the way we communicate, work, navigate the world. But can we survive without it? The answer is yes, absolutely. For example, the way I'm joining the Toastmasters meeting today, I've joined via getting a mail from Toastmaster Sandhya. We have become so entangled in the web of social media that we often forget that it's merely a tool to embrace our life, not something to consume us entirely. We have figured it out that like every drug addict, it wasn't about chasing the high, but it was about escaping out of the reality. We got distracted by the screen so much that we often forgot to see within ourselves. So let's raise a glass to start afresh. Let's reboot. I'm picking these 5 resolutions which I've seen in a particular movie recently. So the resolution number 1, put your phone down and head up. Look at the world. Glance at your life. Because life is all about living. Without filters, without lenses. Resolution number 2, take it easy. Keep it real. You don't need too much actually to be truly happy. Because when you are most authentic to yourself, you will let people come to you. Resolution number 3, stop comparing. There's nobody like you and you don't need to pretend to be like someone. You should only compete with yourself and try to become a better version of yourself. Resolution number 4, be grateful, say thank you out loud, straight, every day. Resolution number 5, find your tribe. Because when your friends are around you, do you think you really need some social media followers or friends? Think about it. So I urge you to join me in embracing this screen-free and sceneful existence. Let's reclaim our time, our focus, and most importantly, our connection with one another, because life is meant to be truly lived fully. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Here's my daily thank you that you suggested that we share. Thank you so much, Nidhi, for a wonderful speech. Timer Vaishali, can you please tell us the timing reports for all the speakers?
Sure.
You can come back on screen now.
Yeah, I'll come back to my normal screen. In the prepared speeches, 5 to 7 minutes, Kashif, his timing was 6 minutes, 10 seconds. And Niyamat, she spoke 7 minutes, 36 seconds.
I think we'll have to give Niyamat the benefit of the doubt because I think there was an incident with audio. So I'm
7 minutes, 30 seconds.
Yeah, just leave it at that. Niyamat, this is the first time we're doing it for you. This is the first for you.
Yeah. Even I thought the
I
same.
love DTM Fireflies. I love you all.
No, she mentioned that she received some call. So maybe because of that, 6 seconds. So 7 minutes, 30 seconds, Niyamat. And Nidhi falls into the category of 3 to 4 minutes of speeches. She spoke for 3 minutes, 20 seconds.
Thank you so much, Vaishali. Appreciate the work you did.
Thank you.
We're running 3 minutes behind schedule according to the agenda. So we're going to move on to the next segment of the meeting, which is table topics. Mahesh, I see 2 of you. There's Mahesh TTM and TTM Mahesh. Which one should I use? Which one should I spotlight?
TTM Mahesh.
All right. So the next person in charge of the meeting is Toastmaster Mahesh Likhia, who's going to be our table topics master for the evening. Mahesh, keep in mind that anybody can be picked up because I think everybody here is a Toastmaster, except maybe Farzana. Farzana, I think, is a guest, in which case Farzana can say no, but others cannot say no. So don't wait for people to volunteer. Just jump on them, pounce on them, and grab them and put them on the spotlight. So over to you, Toastmaster Mahesh.
Yeah, thank you very much, Toastmaster Sai. A very good evening to all the Toastmasters and my dear friends. I am the table topic master for the evening. And in the table topics, you will be given a topic on the spot. And you will have to express your opinions regarding the topic. The time allotted is 1 to 2 minutes. And grace period is 30 seconds. So the theme of the topic, today's topic is not for sale. Means you will be given a topic regarding any product or a property, and you will have to express your opinions regarding that product or property. So here, not for sale is the honesty. Means you are a honest person. You should remember. You are Raja Harishchandra. Even though you are a lady, you consider yourself as a lady Raja Harishchandra. Raja Harishchandra was a famous king of the Solar dynasty, and he was very honest and kind person, and he was known for his justice. So you will begin a topic regarding a product or a property. You have to express your opinions regarding the positives as well as negatives and your experience regarding that product or property. So that's the purpose of this table topics. So before I start, suppose there is a tie in the end. So I will encourage to use the word of the day, negotiations. If there is a tie, then the person using that word of the day will be declared the winner. That is from my side. So just I will share my screen. I will do the selection criteria. Just it will take 1 minute only.
While Mahesh is setting up a screen, can I please ask everyone to turn on their cameras? It's easier to just highlight you if your camera is already on.
Is the wheel is visible?
I don't think your screen is visible yet, not to me at least. I would just pick as soon as you see a person, just pick something for them. Don't wait to spin a wheel and things like that. It just takes time. So just go with
no problems. So I'll pick the criteria is secrets. I will not disclose the secret how I selected the person. So One is Toastmaster Kashif. So the topic for you, Toastmaster Kashif, is suppose you own a BMW 7 Series car. Just remember, you are a Raja Harishchandra, so you have to tell all the secrets as well as the shortcomings and positives, everything. So you are owning a BMW 7 Series car costing 1 crore, but you are met with the accident 2 to 3 times, and there was high maintenance cost associated with the car. You have to sell that car to a potential buyer. Your negotiation skills will be tested here, but be truthful. So you have to tell positives, negatives, as well as the experience related to that BMW 7 Series car. So Toastmaster Kashif, BMW Toastmaster Kashif.
Okay, so my situation is that I recently purchased, against my better judgment, a BMW 7 Series, which cost me 1 crore rupees. And although, given that I'm going to speak truth today, let me say that I could not afford that BMW, but I still bought it because we are living in this society where we are chasing materialistic things and we need to show off. So in total honesty, that's why I bought that BMW. And you can call it a twist of fate, or God wanted to show me the right way, that within a month of buying that BMW, I met with an accident and that BMW was wrecked. But now that I had spent so much money, I do need to recover some of that money. And so I was looking for people, or victims, I should say, who I could sell the BMW to. And I put a notice on on the notice board of my society. Fortunately, I was able to find a few buyers who were ready to get into a negotiation and look at the BMW and see if they wanted to buy it. Ultimately, it all came down to, as Sai earlier mentioned, that negotiation is, we enter into a negotiation and the negotiation is good if everyone goes happy in a negotiation. But unfortunately, this was not that situation, and everybody could not go happy because there are some negotiations in which one of the parties has to be the victim, and this was one of those situations, unfortunately. And I did not want to enter into that negotiation, but unfortunately, the cost of that BMW was too much for me, and I had to, despite being honest, despite being so honest and being Satyavadi Raja Harishchandra, I still had to lie and get rid of that BMW. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day. Table Topics Master of the Day.
Thank you very much for being so truthful regarding the BMW series. If you are owning any other luxury car and you want to sell it, then people are ready to buy that, including me. So the next person I would like to invite, Toastmaster Kalpana. The selection criteria is she is an expression queen, so that's why the topic is quite related to her. That's why I have selected Kalpana. So Toastmaster Kalpana, you are owning a luxurious penthouse worth 5 crores. And the problem is it's a ghost haunted house. So that's the experience you are having with that house. You want to sell that house to a potential buyer. So Toastmaster Kalpana, haunted house, Toastmaster Kalpana.
A haunted penthouse. Well, absolutely. When I went and I told my husband I wanted a penthouse, he was the first person top off. Because he realized he was going to have a dearth when it came down to his bank balance. It didn't help that he was a CA. I was insistent. And I did get a penthouse. So what did my smart husband do? You think he was just dabbling in finances? Not at all. He decided to get the better of superstitious me. And he started playing the songs of the ghosts. Ooh. Oh. I shivered and shuddered and I wondered what was happening. And I began to shake him awake. Wake up, wake up, wake up. There is a ghost. He keeps telling me I only see bank balances in my nightmares. That's the only ghost that is haunting me. There are no ghosts here. There are ghosts. Believe me, there are ghosts. I went. But this husband of mine played that trick every night till I told him, oh, about selling the penthouse. I just don't mind a 1 BHK too, you know. My husband said, are you sure? I said, yes. So don't you want to do any pujas? No, Hanuman Chalisa is not working. And believe me, my husband's dirty negotiations, as he just went around with a ping pong ball kind of a situation. Are you sure? Don't tell me later. I forced you into selling it. I know how you are, you know. You're going to eat my head throughout your life. Are you sure? I said, yes, yes, yes. That fantastic, luxurious apartment of mine turned into a 1 BHK flat. And what? When I was cleaning the house, I came across that recording which went, ooh. It was in his mobile. Ah! I murdered him so that he can be a ghost. Over to you, Countess Chair.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Kalpana, for horrifying us. So let us move ahead. And may I invite Toastmaster Yavana for the next topic? Is
Yes.
there on the spotlight?
Yes.
Yeah. So the topic for you is regarding our BKC Fireflies only. So you assume that the membership cost of BKC Fireflies is 1 lakh rupees. And membership seats are limited. But because of personal reason, you need to sell the membership to somebody, to your dear friend. And the cost of 1 lakh is little bit higher compared to the market price of other club members, other clubs. But you know all the positives which are prevailing in the BKC Fireflies club. But due to personal reasons, you want to sell that membership to your dear friend at a higher cost. So Toastmaster Yavana, membership, Toastmaster Yavana.
As a VP membership of Goregaon Speakers Community Toastmasters, now I got an opportunity to be the VP membership of BKC Fireflies. And the fact is that since my would-be is moving to Chennai, now I will have to unfortunately move to Chennai, and BKC Fireflies, I will not be able to continue my membership. So that makes me sad that unfortunately I'll have to sell my membership to another member. So the fact is that we have wonderful speakers in the club. We have champions here. We have expression queens there. We had fantastic prepared speeches, which was happening, and yet more. We have fantastic table topic session happening now, and evaluation of the prepared speeches also is going to happen. And I am damn sure that the market prices are even more going to become high, and it is going to be, and right now the price is 1 rupee less to 1 lakh. Okay, that is the final deal I am quoting, because yes, this is the maximum offer I can do because the benefits of worth it. The last 1 hour is a typical example of how the meeting runs, how procedurally it goes, how People enjoy every minute, and the expressions are very much visible from each and every Toastmasters here. So yes, the time is up. Before the yellow card comes, someone can take it up. Yes, the yellow card has already come. You just have 10 more seconds to take up this deal. Okay, I'm making one more offer for you. 2 rupees less to 1 lakh is right now in front of you. It is very, very limited offer until it turns red. Let's see who is going to raise the hand and say that I'm going to take this membership right now. Come on, guys. Yes, I'm seeing 2 people raising hands. Okay, 3 people there. Okay, now I will have to see who makes the word of the day negotiation so that they'll be able to take up this membership. Back to the table topics, Master.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Yavana. And you should not sell the membership because the cost is going to increase in the future because of all the positives in our club. So may I invite Toastmaster Farzana be the next speaker. Toastmaster Farzana, yeah.
Okay, what is the topic?
Yeah, just 1 minute. Suppose you assume that you have a gold-plated, diamond-stated watch worth rupees
Okay.
10 lakhs.
Okay.
The watch is showing correct time all the times, but your time has started going from bad to worse after you bought the watch because it is not so auspicious, not so lucky watch.
Okay.
You have to tell the truth. You have to be the honest while selling the watch to the potential buyer.
Okay.
Yeah. So Toastmaster Farzana, watch, Toastmaster Farzana.
Okay. Respected forum, I recently bought a watch which was gold plated and very costly. It was one of my go-to lists. I wanted to buy it since long, and luckily I got it. And as soon as I put it on, I felt something like bad things happened. The next day, and I literally wanted to. It's like some events happened, and I attributed this to my watch. And then I went to one of my friends and I asked them, I don't want this watch because since I have got this watch, I am like facing difficult situations. So I want to get rid of this. On that, my friend, my soul sister, she told me it's nothing like that. We cannot attribute to the things we get like anything bad or good. It is already written in the fate. We don't attribute it to the things we get. So get rid of this superstition and believe that whatever happens to us is God's blessing, and if something bad happens to us is kind of protection from God to get more bad. So with this thought, you put it on the wrist and rock. So I didn't sell it, and I got it for myself further. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Toastmaster Farzana. So if you want to sell that watch, I am ready to buy. I will do the puja, necessary puja, and then I will buy that watch.
Okay.
So let us move to the last table topic. So may I invite Toastmaster Nidhi to be the speaker. Yeah. iPhone is quite common, but just for the table topic, I have selected iPhone. So suppose you are owning iPhone 15 Pro Max, costing 1.5 lakhs. It has fallen 2 to 3 times from your hand, and you have repaired it 2 to 3 times. It's also getting hanged. So you need to sell that iPhone at a reasonable price to a potential buyer with all the positives, negatives, your real experience. Be the Lady Raja Chandra and try to sell it. So Toastmaster Nidhi, iPhone 15, Toastmaster Nidhi.
Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening, all. I recently bought this wonderful phone called iPhone 15 Pro Max, and it has been like 2 months I have bought it, but recently I decided to quit from social media. Not just to social media, but even WhatsApp. So I think as of now, I'm using more, I need to use more of a phone like Nokia Asha, because even my managers complain that we can't communicate you via WhatsApp and they need to text me on an SMS. So I think this phone is not needed anymore, and I'm ready to sell you on almost, the 70% of the price, because it's been recently bought, so I can't reduce more than that. But I will assure you, you'll get good photographs. You will get all the new technologies and all the iOS related features, updated features. And I think it's very handy, though I'm not good in it, because sometimes I slip a phone lot, like just like this. So I usually am not good in handling phone. So even my parents feel that you don't deserve such a costly phone, rather you buy your 2000 rupees phone of Nokia, and it will be very handy, and we will keep updating that Nokia model within 2-3 months of different colors. Regarding this iPhone which I want to sell, I think you will be able to, enjoy all the updated version of apps, and I think it would be very comfortable. I got a very good cover as well, so it will look very classy if you click some pictures. And if you are a social media person, unlike me, but if you are a social media person, you can post it on your respected social media platforms. Apart from it, I think, yeah, over to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Nidhi. If your phone has fallen in reality, then there are many exchange offers available online. You can try that. So that was my time. Thank you very much. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Sai.
We're running a little bit behind already. So the last half an hour of the meeting is going to start now, and that's going to be headlined by our general evaluator, DTM Ranjini. Ranjini, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Good evening, everyone. As a general evaluator, I had 3 tasks to perform. 1, I will be calling all the evaluators to give feedback to the speakers, and the evaluators follow a CRC method, which is the comment, recommend, and comment. Next, I'll be calling the tag team, that is timer, our counter, and the grammarian to present the report. And third, I will be presenting my own report of the entire meeting. So in the interest of the time, we are already running, I think, 5 minutes behind schedule. So I would like to urge the evaluators to keep it simple and short. First, I will call the timer to give timing guidelines for the speech evaluation, and over to the timer, please.
Thank you so much. Should I give the time report of the table topics first, or how it is?
No, we'll give it after the evaluation together.
Fine.
Yeah, thank you.
For the speech evaluations, the time limit is 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I'm going to display green card. At 2.30 seconds, I'll display yellow card. And at 3 minutes, red card will be displayed. 30 seconds grace.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Vaishali. Now, without any further ado, I'll be calling the evaluator 1, that is Yavanam, to give evaluation for speaker 1. Over to you, evaluator 1, Toastmaster Yavanam.
Toastmaster Kashyap, journaling really works to have a good memory of what you have spoken up. There was a well-structured speech which you have delivered today. The next powerful point was the use of examples. Serena Williams, entrepreneurs, Marie Curie. You had brought so many examples for whom journaling had worked. And the other thing is that how you remembered these many names is something I am still wondering. At times when I give evaluation, I forget the target speaker's name. But you had remembered so many example names, coming up with a very positive message on journaling. And the power of three, very well utilized. The three benefits of journaling: enhancement of creativity, better mental well-being, and better memory function. Kudos. And ideas reach clarity when being journaled. That's very nice. Many a times ideas come in washroom and it gets flushed away before we come outside. And I do not have the guts to come out like Archimedes and note it on a paper. But yes, if we note it in a paper, ideas can reach clarity. Well, very strong message. I was initially wondering why Toastmaster Kashu was speaking on journaling and better mental well-being. And he was saying that he will keep note of his negative thoughts. Later, I understood the negative thoughts, he would write it so that it would help him confront issues, deal with it, and cope with it. Kudos. That was a very, very powerful message. That makes me think that, yes, I should start journaling all the events which happen in my life. So coming to make yourself the next level of speaker, I would like to say few suggestions here. So one is use of hand gestures. So when you were using effective hand gestures, at some instances, your hand gestures were little penetrating. So this kind of gesture could be avoided with using purposeful gestures according to your speech content. The second thing is explicit usage of structure of speech itself. In the sense, I would like to start the speech with, and I would like to conclude here with. So we know that, yes, you're going to start and the way you're going to conclude as well. So these explicit use can be avoided. The other one is revealing title. The title could have been little catchy is what I felt, because benefits of journaling is already revealing that, yes, you're going to speak for the benefits of journaling the next 7 minutes. And the call to action could have been there when you said that journaling helps in start taking control of our life. So are you ready to use journaling as a daily part of life? The call to action could have been there as a point. Overall, I would say very good structure of speech, a powerful message, effective use of examples were there. And yes, for me, the journaling had worked. Kudos to you, Toastmaster Kashif. Back to General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Yavana, for the wonderful evaluation. Next, I would like to call Toastmaster Aditya to present the evaluation for the second speaker. Over to you, Aditya.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Toastmaster Niyamit's speech was equivalent to the rains of Mumbai, first rains of Mumbai. Fresh, effervescent, and more importantly, rejuvenating. What I absolutely liked about Toastmaster Niyamit's speech was, number one, the visual imagery she created. Did you notice how she described darkness in her apartment? No electricity, none of the devices were working. We were not able to do our jobs. She very categorically and very effectively depicted the meaning of a somber household. What was also interesting about her speech was her spontaneity and presence of mind. When there was a glitch towards the closing statements, she made it a part of her speech. She said, okay, I am an optimistic person and I choose to stay positive. Now let's look at areas where Toastmaster Niyamit can go a step higher. And number one, a central theme. Toastmaster Niyamit had multiple themes running across his speech, like the first experiences, the first rains in Mumbai, and living optimistically. I wish she had used one central theme and had used data points, personal stories, and examples revolving around this one central theme. What was also missing in her speech were actionable steps. What do you have for the audience? How can the audience embrace the first experiences and make best results out of it? And lastly, management of time. She finished the speech in the nick of time, and she can avoid it by scheduling the contents of the speech and practicing with a timer. Nevertheless, she had commendable visual imagery, remarkable presence of mind and spontaneity, a little bit of fine-tuning in the central theme, actionable steps, and management of time. I'm sure she can go far higher and make it better and even the best. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aditya. Now we'll move on to the third evaluator, Toastmaster Sandhya. Over to you.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Somebody has very rightly said that if you have the ability to love, then love yourself first. And today, our speaker, Toastmaster Nidhi, showed us that if you ever get an opportunity to deliver a social speech, to toast someone, then toast yourself. And that is what Toastmaster Nidhi, I liked the best about your speech. I liked the idea of your speech. The idea of giving a toast to yourself, the idea of celebrating yourself as a person. And you had a great reason to celebrate because you recently kept away from social media, something that all of us are extremely anxious about. We all probably somewhere at some point in time, we do want to be free of social media, but very few of us have that courage to uninstall those social media apps from our phone and go ahead and embrace an unsocial life. So firstly, kudos to you to having done that, and kudos to you for thinking of delivering a speech on this topic. Other than this, what I liked was you had humor in your speech. You started your speech on an extremely humorous note where you appreciated yourself. You also had very effective and strong messages. For example, I love the sentence where you said social media is a tool to embrace. It's not to consume ourselves. I think that's an excellent thought and very well put together. You also had great delivery and very good confidence. But what can you do better? I basically have two broad recommendations for you. One is in terms of your content. Now, this speech was a social speech where you had to celebrate someone or offer a toast to someone. Now, you rightly did that to yourself because you had detoxified yourself from social media. But I was hoping that your content reflected more on that. It reflected more on how did you spend your time when you didn't have social media? How did that affect you positively? Right? So, personally, how did that affect you? Rather than, so you focus more on generally how it affects people if you don't have social media. So, focus on the personal thing. How did that affect you personally? How did that affect your life? And why should you celebrate yourself because you did this? So, what were the hurdles you faced? I'm sure you must have faced some hurdles while uninstalling those apps. So, what were those hurdles you faced? How did you overcome them? And how did that affect you? So, structure your speech that way. Secondly, you had some great resolutions towards the end of the speech, but I think except the last one, the other ones did not really fit with the rest of the speech. So focus on those resolutions. Focus on that one resolution of detoxifying yourself from social media. So just focus on that aspect. Secondly, in terms of delivery, and this I would recommend you for the next part of the speech, stand up and give the speech so that we can see your hand gestures. You're more visible because only your face was visible while you were delivering the speech. So I think that will have a greater impact the next time. So to summarize, Toastmaster Nidhi, I loved the concept of the speech, and kudos to you for uninstalling all the social media apps. But focus on that single aspect in your speech, right? And stand up and give the speech the next time. All the best for the second part of the speech. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sandhya. May I now invite the timer to give the timing report of not only the table topic speakers, but also the evaluators.
Thank you so much, Ranjini Miss. For table topics, I would like to start with Kashif. He took 2 minutes 20 seconds. Kalpana took 2 minutes 42 seconds. Yavana 2 minutes 12 seconds. Farzana 1 minute 44 seconds. Nidhi 2 minutes, 2 seconds. And for speech evaluators, I'll begin with Yavana, 3 minutes, 15 seconds. Aditya, 2 minutes, 58 seconds. Sandhya, 3 minutes, 36 seconds. That's all from my end. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vaishali. Now let's move on to the R Counter's report. May I invite the R Counter to present the reports?
Hi. So for Kashif on journaling topic, 2 times he said and repeated words were like idea, flags, and put it down, recalls as well. Second was Niyamat. So she did the thrice and one and used and repeatedly. Third, Nidhi, she was completely flawless and just used 2 times, For table topic, Kashif, 6 times he used 6 times. 2 times. For BMW topic, Kalpana, she was completely flawless and again, she used thrice. Yavana, he used for 4 times. That's it. And Farzana, she used for 10 times and for 3 times. And then last, Nidhi, she used 4 times and 4 times.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pratnya. Now I invite Toastmaster Kalpana to present the grammarian report. Over to you, Kalpana.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Let me very quickly first begin with the quotes. I did miss, noting down initial meetings, whatever was said. But what I remembered from the quote that a timer said is time is currency, which has stayed in my mind. And the second quote was spoken by evaluator Sandhya: if you have the ability to love, love yourself first. So that were the quotes of that we had today. When it comes down to the word of the day, negotiation. I think Kashif was on the count of the account type, So I kept counting. I think he has spoken negotiation at least 6 times recorded. 7 I might have missed because I seriously wasn't aware that he might be on a repeat mode. Now let me come down to good, but very good. A huge round of applause for that. Now for the good ones, optimal, folks from all walks of life, cognitive, testimony, acceleration, enamored, and it rains. I would like to suggest over here, it was raining buckets. There is a word in English that says it rained cats and dogs. So if you are talking about torrential rains, you can always use this particular descriptive words if possible. It's sort of a phrase. And then there is nobody like you. Nobody can pretend to be you. That was also one thing that I really liked. It was very well written. Rect, attribute, explicit usage categorically, and visual imagery. Some tips. Then I realized that the word thing is being used a plenty of times. I don't know why, but we all need to ensure that we have our vocabulary words in place, whatever we are writing, and not substituted with thing. Over here, thing can be substituted with the life experience. Life experience could have been used in the context of the sentence, apart from it was a thing I wrote down. Okay, we have to figure out what it should have been told as, and that's why I bought BMW instead of that's why I bought BMW. Now there was one mispronunciation, equivalent, it is equivalent. Okay, so that is all from my side. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kalpana. Now I will quickly present my report of the entire flow. The meeting room opened at 6:30, so we can have a quick round of applause for that. And the Sergeant at Arms, despite traveling abroad, made time to be present at the meeting, start the meeting with great energy and enthusiasm, and ensured that good network connectivity was also there. He stated the protocol, stated the mission statement, so very well done on that. And presiding officer Sandhya welcomed the guest, shared her opinion on certain aspects and how we can all lead a stress-free life by speaking up. So that very well done on that front, presiding officer. And I also appreciate the effort that presiding officer took to invite the guests one by one. So that was well done. Toastmaster of the day gave us a sneak peek into how we can negotiate and speak up. I think we all are going to leave this meeting as better negotiators, no doubt about that. And he shared, and he made the session so interactive that all of us could chip in and make it interactive and interesting as well. I especially love the segment wherein you talked about toffee. So that I shall always remember that. The tag team, Timer, Grammarian, and the R Counter did a fabulous job. And despite the Timer being doing the role for the first time, explained the guidelines and also stated the timing report very clearly. The R Counter, it is not very easy to sit in the meeting and count the R's and M's. Did a fabulous job, Toastmaster Pradnya. And a special round of mention to the grammarian Toastmaster Kalpana for having, stepped in at the last minute. So can we have a huge round of applause for the tag team members? Very well done. Coming to the table topic round, I think the table topic session started 7 minutes behind schedule, but the table topic master did a wonderful job, interesting topics and interesting perspectives from each and every speaker. They made the session, humorous, and some added flavor to, their own flavor to the topic, making it very interesting. And I love the way that he followed the naming convention: topic, name, topic, and name of the speaker. So well done on that. And also, I like the way that he picked up members as per their strength or forte. That was also nicely done. And he gave opportunity to the guest as well. And great job done. Only recommendation I have is probably the timing report was missed. That could have been taken care of. That could be taken care of in future. All the three evaluators share the speech objectives. The evaluators can also share the time for the speeches for the benefit of all, and especially for the benefit of timers, since each speech is of different duration. All three evaluators also gave insightful, feedback based on the CRC method, that is comment, recommend, and comment. In general, I would like to mention that it's always ideal to have 2 or 3 positives, 2 recommendations, and summarize. And while commendations, the evaluators need to share exactly which place they particularly like, and should share only that particular, part of the speech. And while coming to recommendations or suggestions, they also need to show how that can be elevated to the next level. I found that in 1 or 2 places that was missing. So this could be taken care of in future. And otherwise, I had a wonderful session. My time was from 8:31 to 8:37. So that is why I had to rush up. And a round of applause to all the members who joined once again, and over to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Ranjini, DTM Ranjini, and I really appreciate the fact that you pushed through and finished the general evaluation section on time. While this is happening, while we're discussing, while we are getting ready for the last segment of the meeting, which is the voting and all that good stuff, let me launch the polls so that we all have an opportunity to share our feedback on the meeting. So please go ahead, vote for the people you thought were the most appropriate for the headings. Rashmi, I know you joined a little late, so just put your finger in the air and pick. That doesn't matter who it is. Just, I know you're attendant number 16th, meeting attendant number 16, but go ahead and vote. While the voting is going on, let me tell you a little bit more about negotiations and never splitting the difference. Now, you must be wondering, what is that? What constitutes negotiations, and when do you enter into a negotiation? If you think about it, everything you say in life is owned, controlled, managed, possessed, accepted or denied by other people. It's very rare that you are solipsistically living only for yourself or only by yourself. So whenever you say things like, I want anything, I want to start a family with you, I want a promotion, I would love to pay just 25,000 rupees for that car. All those things, whenever you say I want, you're entering into a negotiation. And you have to realize that negotiations, conflict, arguments, this give and take is not a bad thing. We've been brought up to think of conflict and this back and forth between individuals in a negative way. Like, it's do not cross friction, don't rock the boat, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. All those things have been said about keeping everything on even keel, but that's not how life is. You are negotiating literally every minute of the day. You enter into a bus and the bus conductor says that I will not accept 10 rupee coins, I'll only accept UPI payments. You're in a negotiation at that point. You're entering into a standoff. And when those things happen, it is your job to find a way to come out with both parties happy, not just you happy or the bus conductor happy. You have to find a way to come out happy together. It could be that you pay by UPI on this time, whatever you do, but make sure that you're in a negotiation situation at that moment. So the key insight is negotiations are a thing that happen every time. And every time you say, I want something, you're entering into a negotiation. Conflict is good. Conflict which causes damage to other people is maybe not good, but conflict by itself, when you limit it to coming out with an outcome that both people like, is actually a good thing. And one of the things that was very shocking to me when I read the book, and I didn't have time to cover it during this original thing, is that we've been taught the negotiation means getting to a yes, getting the other person to say yes to something you're saying, or you saying yes to what the other person's saying. And actually, every time anybody says yes to you, they're actually trying to shut you up and move out of your conversation. So please realize that what you really want to get to is a no. If somebody can give you a hard no about something, you're actually making progress in your negotiations. For example, if you go to your boss and say, I would like to take the next week off, and your boss says yes, it could be that he's actually trying to end he or she's trying to end the conversation. But if the boss says no, you know for sure that the next week is out and you're no longer going to be able to take that week off. So get to a no as soon as possible when it comes to negotiations. When it comes to any challenging situation, get to a no, and that'll be much more beneficial, because it'll eliminate an entire universe of choices. It'll cut your operating space by a big percentage if you have a few things which you cannot even approach because the other person said no to you on that. That's one insight. The second and third insights I want to share with you, the one about being fair. If you are in a negotiation and you feel that you want to gain the upper hand, start questioning the fairness of the other person. I'm not saying this to you. I'm not saying this in a way for you to manipulate the other person into giving things to you. Think about whether you're being treated fairly. And if you feel that you're not being treated fairly, say it. Because as humans, we like to maintain this facade maintain this image in our head that we're fair people in general. So please go ahead and question their fairness. They'll always give in. And the last thing I want you to take back is the concept of labeling. This is something which, mirroring. This is something which happens, like it's in the book, they call it the Jedi mind trick. If you repeat what the other person says at the end, if I'm saying, for example, I love newspapers, and you say, oh, you like newspapers, you're mirroring the other person by repeating the last words that they've said. And that actually leads to the person on the other side of the negotiating table. They want to explain themselves a little more because they feel you've sort of understood, but not fully understood. That's a trick. When they start explaining themselves, that's when they're negotiating against themselves. They're not negotiating against you. When they have to explain to you what they want you to understand, they're negotiating against themselves, and that can be an advantage. So when you go to your landlord and you say, I want a 10% discount on the rent and not a 10% increase this year, and you say, and you mirror what they say, they will explain themselves more and they'll be negotiating them against themselves. It's 8:43. I have 2 minutes more, and I want to hand charge of the meeting to the presiding officer to take us through to the finale. Sandhya, do you have access to the launch, so the poll results?
No, I don't. You will have to send them to me.
All right, I'll collate all that and send it to you while you continue.
Okay, while that's happening, let me speak to Farzana. Hi, Farzana. Tell us, how did you like the meeting?
Yeah, to focus, I need to concentrate, and I need to improve the things. That's why I am going to join it. The reason why I have joined Toastmasters Club BKFFC.
Okay, great, Farzana, and lovely attempt at table topics. How is it in Srinagar? How's the weather?
It's nice these days. It's nice. Earlier it was kind of rainy. This time it's spring. Very nice weather. I welcome you all to come here. It's very beautiful weather here.
I'm sure all of us would like to visit Srinagar. Who doesn't want to visit?
Most welcome. Most welcome.
You. Let me also speak to Sunil because Sunil didn't have a chance to speak in the table topics round. Toastmaster Sunil, do you have
Are you
better
thankful
network
about
now?
that, Sandhya? Are you thankful I didn't get to speak?
Yes,
Your
maybe
smile
now.
says it all.
Toastmaster Sunil, tell us how will you negotiate? Let's say the table topics master did not give you a chance to speak. How are you going to negotiate with him?
See, I love the Sai concept, but I like to add two words Sai to it. One is accommodate and one is to adjust. Because these are the two key words, in my opinion, about negotiation. Because you see, if they're saying your way or my way or highway is the exact opposite of negotiation. Because they're saying you must take inspiration from the stock market. Any guesses why, Sandhya? You must take inspiration from the stock market?
Because it keeps
Because
changing.
both the buyer and the loser both feel they got a good deal. So that's the spirit of negotiation, that both the buyer and the seller must both feel that they got a good deal. And the key to negotiation would be a win-win situation, as they say, the cliche word. So I would feel that it's always good. The other person should feel that they bargained hard, but they got a good deal. And the one who sold or gave in also must not feel that they either gave in too easily. But there are a lot of complexities in this field of negotiation. If you remember the movie Diwar, where Amitabh goes to buy a building and the person says, you don't know how to deal. And he says, why do you say that? Actually, he's saying, I would have sold this building to you for half the price. He's saying, you don't know how to deal. I would have paid twice the price because I'm going to give this building today to my mother. And you never know what is the value in the mind of the beholder. As they say, beauty lies in the value of the beholder. So good negotiation would be try to evaluate how critical, how important, or how needy the other person is, just like we pay through our nose on a rainy day to our auto rickshaw guys, where there's no, there's no room for negotiation. They know they would pay any price to go back to your safe home, whether it's the first rain or the second one.
Well, thank you very much, Toastmaster Sunil, for your take on the theme. And you must have a Toastmasters meeting dedicated to this. I'm sure everyone will enjoy that. And I
Yeah,
have the
actually, I
results
add a lot
for
of
the three.
enthusiasm to the meeting whenever, last meeting of yours also, my club, I added a lot of enthusiasm by not showing up, So I always add a lot of enthusiasm. So I take your hint.
Yeah. We'll listen more from you after the meeting because it's 8:47 and we want to officially close the meeting on time. So I'm going to quickly announce the winners. We had some great speeches. I personally enjoyed all the three speakers. I also enjoyed each table topic speaker. But there is one winner, and the meeting room thinks that the best prepared speaker for the day was the one who told us about the first rains of Mumbai, Toastmaster Niyamat. Congratulations, Toastmaster Niyamat.
Thank you. Happy. Thank you. Thank you.
Very well done. And the best table topic speaker is somebody who made us laugh throughout his speech, Toastmaster Yavana. Toastmaster Yavana, yes, there he is. Congratulations, Toastmaster Yavana. It was very funny. You kept all of us hooked to those 2 minutes of your speech.
Thank you.
The best evaluator is somebody who is his division champion and who is now going to represent his division at Eloquence, Toastmaster Aditya. Congratulations, Toastmaster Aditya. Very well done and all the best for the next round, the final round.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Sandhya. Thank you, everyone.
The primary role player is the person who taught us how to negotiate, the benefits of negotiating, the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Sai. And last but not the least, the best auxiliary role player is the one. She did this for the second time today. We didn't have a role player and she stood up and she said, I will take it up. She did this, I think, earlier also for when one of our evaluators went missing and she took up speech evaluations. Congratulations, Toastmaster Kalpana. Very well done as the grammarian for the day. But I must also congratulate the other two auxiliary role players, Toastmaster Vaishali and Toastmaster Pradnya. Both of them played the roles for the first time. Toastmaster Vaishali, first time as an online timer, and Toastmaster Pradnya, this is only her second meeting officially as a Toastmaster, and she had the guts to take up the role. And very well done, Toastmaster Pradnya, as the accounter. And of course, I had a great time, and I hope all of you did too. And with that, officially, I would like to close this meeting, but all of you are welcome to stay on and network and chat. Thank you, everyone, for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
all.
Thank you all.
Everyone.
Thank you, Sandhya. Bye.
I really
Bye.
enjoyed. And thank you, Sai,
Thank you,
for coming.
Ranjini.
Have a nice time.
Twice.
Thank you.
Really
Hope
enjoyed.
to see you all again.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that at Farzana's next meeting, we'll give her 2 table topics. She was so confident. The first time as a guest, she's doing table topics and she was so good.
So how
Rashmi,
many
you
of
didn't
you
get
are
a
coming to
chance to speak.
Silvassa? How many of you are coming to Silvassa?
I'm
Who's
coming.
asking that?
Oh, see you at Silvassa.
Where, why? I mean,
So there's a district conference happening in Silvassa at the end of next week.
oh, okay.
And Aditya is one of the participants at the district level contest in evaluations.
All
And-
the best, Aditya. Toastmaster Aditya.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Right. And Ranjini, Kalpana, they're all going to be there to
Yes.
cheer each other and cheer Aditya.
Looking forward.
Best wishes.
Same here.
Right. So
Thank you.
Sai, aren't you coming?
All the best, Aditya.
no, Sandhya and I were deciding
Unless Sandhya is there in the finale, can't expect Sai to come.
that. So we were thinking that.
It was the other way.
So for the people who don't know, Sandhya and I are married to each other. We are a couple. We live in the same house, technically. So our plan was that if one of us is in the finals, we'll go. But neither of us made it to the finals. She was, I think, in evaluations, she came second in the division contest. And I was in the division ISC contest and I didn't make it in the top 3. So, which is why we're like too depressed to actually spend money to go to Silvassa and cheer everybody else.
No, come on, rejuvenate yourself. Even I am neither in ISC nor in evaluation. I'm just going for rejuvenation, you know.
Our 4-year-old it's a summer vacation. So we are thinking of taking
I know you mentioned it.
Yeah.
We
found a cheaper option to rejuvenate ourselves.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
Right. So
Great.
Farzana, we keep getting sidetracked. When you come next, we're going to give you 2 table topics. Are you comfortable with that?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Shall I get the topics this time to prepare, or I will get that time only?
Of course, that time. You're not going to leave it now. On the day of the meeting, we'll surprise you with 2.
Okay.
Pradnya, how was your experience doing this for the first time? Your R counter.
So I was quite nervous, like when Sandhya asked me. So I said, like how to do. But then we almost talked almost an hour, right, Sandhya? We started at 8 o'clock and we were just talking and she was just explaining beautifully to me. So that gave me confidence that yes, I can also do that. And did it. I hope I give justice to my role.
Yeah. I told you Sandhya is very convincing. I told you she's smooth.
Right.
I didn't realize that she's convincing you.
I didn't need to attend this meeting on
This
negotiation.
is completely negotiation topic. Human situation.
Right. But if you guys are interested in this topic of negotiations and how it's applicable to your life, you should definitely check out that book, Never Split the Difference. It's amazing. I mean, it was so much useful stuff in that book. It's just packed with good stuff. Please do check it out. And that's one book I keep. When I was leading teams, I used to give this to other team members. I should keep buying these books, this one book, and give it to my team members because I thought it was a really good book to get your feet wet when it comes to negotiations.
Even I also bought it. So I had in my library, but I'm currently reading something else. So
it's worth. And tell me what you think. I mean, you're still in the corporate space, I think, Nidhi. Tell me what you think.
Just 1 year more.
See if you can. See if you can find a way to negotiate. Say, I mean, maybe there's an example in that book of a guy who goes back to B school to finish his MBA and comes back and gets a 100% raise on his salary and all that. So try it. You never know. You never know how it's going to help you. So just read the book and negotiate with your boss. You don't have to come back, but maybe you'll come back with a 100% raise in salary.
Chalo, I will read and we'll talk on
What's
it
the name
for the
of the
next.
book?
It's
Let's
called
never sleep. No, sorry, never
But Kashif's book, he was also referring one book, no? So what was that book's name? Kashif? Some
yeah.
creative.
The
I did
artist.
not get
The Artist's Way.
Artist way. Okay, okay.
Kashif, have you read Never Steal the Artist? There's another book on the similar concept.
Is he still there?
Kashif has left the meeting.
Yeah.
He's not.
Okay.
Maybe you can put it on the WhatsApp group. I mean, he'll definitely respond. Oh, you don't have WhatsApp. Too bad. Now you know what you're missing.
Sandhya has witnessed a live reaction of me being on WhatsApp. So due to this official reasons, I left. I said I don't have WhatsApp anymore. You can't disturb me on weekends.
I got some of that information.
Yeah, I completely support you on this, Nidhi.
And I'm very happy. It's not something I'm detached or I'm missing. Okay, yeah, meeting links and all I need to communicate by SMS. But apart from it, I'm absolutely loving it. People are strangely looking at me. Okay, other social media apps are fine, but how come WhatsApp? But I'm very happy. At least jab tak it's feasible. Sometimes it's not. Someday I need to install or I need to use it. But
in my life, if I do not look at WhatsApp for a day, I get thousands of messages asking me, "Are you all right? Are you alive?"
Same.
How popular are people in this world?
That's how it is.
Very nice. Mahesh, what's your experience as Table Topics Master?
Yeah, I really enjoyed your topics.
He's very creative. It's like
very,
I don't know how he
very
does it.
topics.
He's every time he does a role, he does it with a twist. Like I think the last time you did Table Topics,
I remember.
You picked the person and the subject at the same time. It was very well done. He's so creative in that.
Mahesh, come to my club. I'll ask you. I'll take your number from Sai. Please conduct a table topic round for us.
Wow, Mahesh, you're in demand now.
Are you there?
You're getting invited, Mahesh, to. That's
because
great.
membership fee is 1 lakh. So all the members.
So
are
now
minimum.
I was about to say that Mahesh would start negotiating now his price for contributing as a Table Topics Master.
You will not get a penny out of me. I am a good Jew.
No, but Mahesh is he does his roles really well. You guys should. If
Mahesh,
any,
you are also Guju, right? You are also
I
Gujarati.
enjoyed the topics,
Yeah,
and the fun part was, we have both of us, my husband and I have always been trying to wonder whether we should just get a 2 BHK, 3 BHK, or should we be going for a penthouse, And I always tell him, why not a penthouse? Why not a penthouse? Be on the topmost. So the topic itself, had me going, oh my God, there is a penthouse, at least in the table topic.
Even the topic for me.
But you didn't know there is a ghost inside.
All right, everyone. Thanks, everyone, for attending.
Chalo, bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye. Good night. Thank you.
I'll be sharing the video, just so you know. This will go on YouTube, and I'll be sharing the video with everyone.
Okay. Bye.
Right.
Thank you. Bye.